What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody is well. Today we are going to be doing some graphic comparisons between Ninja Gaiden 4, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and also we're gonna add in some bonus footage of Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. We're gonna be playing these all on Xbox Series X. We're gonna be playing them all in the performance mode, and we're also like do a bit extra with the turbo mode with Devil May Cry 5 at the end. Doing something a little bit different here today. We still have our live stream that goes over up on Twitch and YouTube to do a first look for both games. You can check those out. There'll be an edited video at some point, but I was fortunate enough to get early access today, so I thought, why not? Because we covered Ninja Gaiden 2 Black only a couple of months ago, right? That video is also up on the channel. So just see what they look like, because obviously it's different developers, and download size wise also very interesting, right? Ninja Gaiden 4 comes in around 36 gig, and Ninja Gaiden 2 Black came in at around 86 gigs. So yeah, let's have a look. Quick request from everybody: don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it very much. I know this video is gonna get millions of views, millions these days. I can dream, okay? And a lot of you don't subscribe to the channel, so I would appreciate the support. All right, let's get into it. So if we start off obviously with some Ninja Gaiden 4, I started off with this like runner segments because Ninja Gaiden 4 does this a lot, where there's these on rails grinding sections. I should also add, I'm not going to go too spoilery, so this is going to be the first like 4 levels, because the game's not out yet, and I obviously want to also do a first look and experience for myself with my community. So I missed the first level because that's footage you've already seen. So yeah, as I was saying, this game does a lot of that. You run on walls and there's grapple points, and on these first 2 levels there's these like rail grinding sections. What I would add in just to show you what it looks like. One overarching thing with this game is like it's raining everywhere. I won't spoil it story wise, but is something to do with the story. So you're gonna see rain in like all of these levels that we're gonna show off. So the first 2 levels are city based. For this first section, we only have 1 weapon, and that's the weapon I'm going to be using. For the second part of this video, we'll be using another weapon just to show off some variety. You know what this reminds me a lot of is Ghost Runner. We've also got that up on the channel, video of that up on the channel. That was first person, so it's hard to compare. But if you go look at that video footage that we did, it's borrowing a lot from that graphically. I think you're not going to see much enemy variety type in the first couple of levels. I think this game does something where like first couple of levels there's like a couple of enemy variety types. Each time they introduce a new level, they add a couple of new enemy variety types, so they rinse repeat that throughout these first couple of levels. The way the save system works in this game is you don't get to fully mess with it and everything, can go in with all your upgrades until you complete the game, right? It's like the previous Ninja Gaiden games did as well. I had to manually make saves depending on where my progress was. So at some points I didn't have certain moves unlocked, so I'm limited to what I can do. They bring back some classic Ninja Gaiden moves, but they also add a lot of new moves to the arsenal, so it plays very different to like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 pace wise, especially, which we're going to see in a minute when we get to that Ninja Gaiden 2 footage. You have a parry now, you have like perfect block timing, perfect parry timing. You have like a rage mode. You have like a modifier button that is like a blood sword mode. This is like the transition to get to the third level, and again you can see a lot of that, you know, that Ghost Runner-esque, even like the yellow on the walls everywhere you gotta run. So you swing, hook, wall run, jump. Still raining, as you can see. But there's been 2 mini bosses before. This is the first like big boss.
Is that the demon? Wow.
This is not the main encounter, by the way, so
Well, good luck. You got this.
as you're gonna see from this fight, it's like the game is very aggressive, right? The more aggressive you are, because of the way the parry works, because there's not a parry button, there's the attack button. If your swords clash at the right time, it turns into a parry. With a lot of the early fights anyway, the more aggressive you are, and if your timing's good, you can really get through these fights quick. So depending on the way you like to play, you might really enjoy this fight. But again, very different from like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. It's slower and methodical purposefully, right? Again, this is just the first encounter. It's meant to be easiest. So as we come to a new area now, you see a new enemy type.
Been obstructed on our end as well.
We'll have to find another way.
I believe this is the 4th level, and this is also when we unlock the new weapon.
DDO troops.
It's like a drill lance. Basically, I think they showed this off in some of the preview footage.
Inconvenient, sure.
So the you know, you have a blood modifier. What this one does is if you hold down that modifier, it just turns into a drill, basically, like that there. It's not free to use. You gotta have the bar for it, but it's got a lot of interesting combo potential because of that. You can switch your weapons on the fly.
You're dead.
Or I just show some of the like wall running stuff in the later levels to show that they still do it. It's not just because first couple of levels were city based, right? They'll do it here. This cliffside style level.
It works with blood by ninja.
Each time that's a parry that is happening there, and that's because, you know, I'm attacking at the same time as them, so we're getting like sword clashes. But a lot of the times you'll get accidental parries as well, so again, the more aggressive you are,
Precisely. It seems it may be
we
more
all love
than
a good
you're
bridge
running.
fight, right? This looks pretty good here.
Well, I specifically chose the weapon to seal away an all-powerful dragon god, so yeah, a little special.
This game does have a 30 FPS graphic mode, but like because it's so fast paced and action oriented, it's just like it's unusable. I don't even care if you like graphics and all that. one of those games you have to play at 60. In my opinion, anyway. Rip that guy. I'll say one effect I don't think I like is like the amount of blood splatter that splatters onto the screen is because, you know, it like covers up what's going on in the game. I wish there was an option to turn that off. Like not the gore, like, you know, I don't mind the gore. It's just like when it splatters onto the screen, you can't really see what's going on. It's like when you have vignetting, but it's like the opposite of that is like it ends up being vignetting, but around the edges of the screen. So this is like you have a like a rage mode, right? And once you're in that mode, you can do like one-shot kills. What we're in right there with the lighting you can see there. So anyway, if we switch over to now Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, again, this came out this year. This is like 86 gig download, so it's a pretty massive game. From what I understand is like the core code of this game is still Sigma 2 underneath, right? So it still plays like that, feels like that. This is just like a graphic overhaul and like a rebalancing, right? So think of those like Dark Souls Bluepoint games or Demon Souls Bluepoint games. This is graphically, this has been modernized, but you know, if you want to know about the pacing of those first two Ninja Gaiden games, this will give you a good example, right, of how they play very differently and if it's going to be to your taste or not. Again, because I've been playing Ninja Gaiden 4 a bit off stream, I was like, no, this doesn't feel like Ninja Gaiden enough to me. But then coming back to do this, to do the graphic comparison, I was like, oh, I understand that this is like way slower. I don't want to use the word clunky because, you know, this is purposefully meant to feel like that. But Ninja Gaiden 4 is just so much more free-flowing. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. I'm just saying they play like whole different games. I think they both have their place, right? So this is the second level. Again, I wanted to show off enough variety. We did a master collection versus Ninja Gaiden 2 Black comparison video. You can check that if you're interested. It was easier to A/B those, right? Because all the weapons and levels you can compare equally, but it's like difficult to do with 4 and 2. Different team, different setting, different developer and everything. So we do get pretty lucky in the second. I mean, not lucky, but like the third level in this game is a city-based level where there's a lot of rain, you know. I wonder if they Platinum use that level as the basic core concept of like 4, right? So we'll show a lot of that off in a second. So see here, like they bring the gore back and everything. You can see it splatter where it's great, but because it's not splattering on the screen, it's not affecting what you can see. So I wish there was an option to turn it off in 4. Anyway, here you have it, right? This is like the closest comparison you're gonna get, right? This is like a city level. It's raining. It's night. You know, if you want to compare the first 2 levels, or even what like the rain looks like and everything in this remaster, right? Or HD remaster. I don't know what we're calling this, you know, but this is like the best example I can give you. If these damn dogs would get out of the way. I mean, 4 still does that. You know, you get hit with things off-screen shurikens and all that. It's even worse in 4. I don't know spoilers, but you know, now enemies have rocket launchers that fire free rockets at a time. Yay, that's fun. But the game's way more zoomed out, right? You know, so you can. It doesn't look as cramped. So you can't see where they're coming from, but you can plan camera quick enough to find those enemies. Where here in 1, 2, you had to rely on that indicator to say, oh no, there's a shuriken coming. I mean, the animation, again, because this is still like 2 underneath, right, the code for it. The animation on these games were like, you know, great. All right, so let's jump into some Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition now. Again, this is in the performance mode and ray tracing is on. So for this first half, it's turbo mode is not on. Again, turbo mode was an option available in the Special Edition for the next gen console versions. So I'm not playing it in turbo mode right now, and the camera zoom is at its default level. You might be wondering, like, why did I add this in here? Because if you just wanted to see a Ninja Gaiden comparison, right? Again, I feel like 4 plays more like these type of action games rather than Ninja Gaiden 2. So it's interesting to see like a gameplay comparison to this. Again, this is like 6 years old now, and it did have a next gen version to add ray tracing. But you know, just to see graphically like what is Gaiden 4 doing, right? Interesting to see here. What I will say here is this game still looks nice, but it does look a bit soft, right? Again, it is 6 years old. This was officially like a last gen game that they poured over to next gen and added like ray tracing, so that's understandable. Download wise, I think this is like 55 gig, right? It's another one that is bigger than Gaiden 4. I mean, without getting too spoilery, man, Gaiden 4 borrows a lot of the ideas off of DMC 4. About 2 protagonists and who you play when, and And if you want our full opinions, there'll be a live stream up on Thursday, I believe. Come join us.
We both spring from the same roots.
I mean, if anybody doesn't know, I should also add Virgil was like DLC, right? He plays very different to Dante and Nero in the base game. Right, so let's switch over to turbo mode now. So turbo mode increases the speed like by 20%, I believe, right? Well, also what I did was I sped up the camera as well. It's at 5 by default, vertically and horizontally. I put those to 8, and I put the zoom, I put it to 10. It was on 5 by default, just so it's more. I think I zoomed it out too much, hindsight and all that, but I think this is like closer to what Ninja Gaiden 4 looks like. That's why I decided to zoom that camera out, because it's very zoomed in. The MC5. Again, this is also in turbo mode. Second half of this video is all turbo mode. Just didn't want to leave that text on the screen because I guess there was some rain levels I could have shut off this game. My main save was on PS4 and I'm playing Xbox Series. I didn't have my save and I was comparing free games. But again, like that levels where it's raining, it's like that demon other world, right? So like graphically they ain't doing nothing. So even though I could have showed off rain, speaking about footage looking dark, I think I added this segment in just to show some of the particle effects off. That first segment was more, you could see ray tracing stuff. Anyway, so there you have it. Comparison between the free games. Again, this video is going to come out on release day, so I tried to keep it as spoiler free as possible, so I didn't want to show off too much of the later game. Again, we're going to have those first live streams up on Thursday. Come join us. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Which games you think looks the best? Be interesting to hear everybody's takes. Again, you can't really get a feel for speed and like how the games play, right? But just take my word for it. Like again, 4 plays more like Devil May Cry 5, or if anything, they're like Metal Gear Rising, right? Anybody remember that game from the 360 area? It is more in line with those type of games than like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it very much. Turn those notification bells on so you do know when new videos drop. Of that live stream, it'll be up on YouTube and Twitch, but Discord, Twitter, TikTok, all that information will be in the description. Come check us out. Now we're gonna call it this one. Much love, peace.